Good evening, everyone. I'm Tom Leahy. I am the resident transient down here at the Kansas State Network. And before we see the movie tonight, I've rounded up the remaining members of the cast of that classic movie, The Beast from the Beginning of Time, which I'm sure you've seen promoted on the Kansas State Network. I'd like to introduce them to you at this time. First, I want to do this in kind of a novel way. I want to take them as they were in the movie, and then we're going to show them as they are now. I'm not going to show myself. So all right, here's the first one. This is Chuck Neisler. And Chuck is the head of an advertising agency. The name of the advertising agency is...
Neisler Advertising.
Oh, very good name. Hey, that was quick thinking. Wow. Do you want to see yourself 16 years ago as you looked in the movie? All right, director, there is Chuck. Now, I like that posture you've got there. What do you have in your hand?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't remember if that was a sawed-off shotgun or a rifle.
I think it was. We shot that out at Lake Afton, as I recall.
Yes. What was it, a rifle or a shotgun?
I think you had a shotgun because you blew me away.
That comes later.
Well, as I told you, ladies and gentlemen, this is 16 years ago that we made this movie in 1965. The Kansas State Network did it in, I guess they were soused or something. Anyway, they said, go ahead and make a movie. Why not? Another gentleman that we had in it, one of the nicest guys I know, and you see him every night on the KSN News at 10 o'clock, is Mr. Webb Smith. We picked him to play a villain in this thing. See what a benign aspect this gentleman has. Now let's take a look at Webb in a typical mood he was in the picture. And Webb, what do you think of that? You still have that hat?
The hat's gone, but I was a heavy and I loved it.
Yeah.
Every second of it.
That shows my perverse nature because I picked all the nice guys to play heavies in this thing. And the next two guys are heavies in it, too. This gentleman on my right, that is my right, I got the rock in the hand here, is Dr. Welsbacher, Richard Welsbacher, the head of the drama department at Wichita State University, right?
University Theater, that's right.
Yeah. And
you gathered up the remains, I heard you say that.
Well, we've been old friends for a long time. Now, I want to show you how Dick, and I want you to look at this, Dick, and see what you look like a long time ago. You reversed the process. You got more hair than you had then.
I had then, that's right.
Yeah.
That's my younger brother.
Yeah, that's your younger. There you're talking to the late John Froome in this particular scene.
That's right.
A man we all remember, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. Now, the other gentleman that we have with us this morning is Mr. Henry Harvey. And Henry, at the present time, is associated with Channel 12. Glad to have you with us, Henry.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be here.
Yeah, and Henry is known to everyone here in the market, one of the pioneers. Can I call you a pioneer?
If you want to.
Well, one
of the real heavies.
Yeah, no, but a pioneer in television, and did the Freddie Fudge Show and various other things.
Oh, yeah.
That a real tremendous talent. Now, I want to show you Henry. Now, he doesn't have to gray his hair now, but we used to have to gray his hair when we shot the film.
we really?
Could we take a look? There we are, Henry. What's that in your hand?
I don't believe that.
What is that? That's Gatorade.
I had a double chin there.
Yes, you did. You were fatter in those days.
And I was sort of bald.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to tell you that when we see this famous film, you will see John Froome, who I consider one of the true pioneers in television here in the Wichita market. Both in concept, when John started his shtick on cake television, back in, when was it, Henry? 1954? 54. Mm-hmm. Most announcers just got on the air and they'd give a commercial and it was very static. But John did a creative approach to giving commercials, and also the weather, and anything that he did with great skill. And he's very much missed in the television market. Another was, I think, the forerunner of the really important kid shows in the Wichita area, Deputy Dusty. Now, Dusty Herring, I know a lot of you will remember him.
Right.
He's in this film, too. And as I said, I'm not going to show myself in this because I can't stand to look at it. But anyway, I'm going to ask these guys one thing. I want to ask, and I'll start with Neisler. Neisler, what was the most memorable moment in that filming, that ordeal we went through when we shot this thing? To you?
The most memorable moment to me was the paycheck that I received. You got one.
Well, you know actors make big money, so that's the way it goes. The paycheck. How about you, Webster Shale?
I think the most memorable moment I remember, of course, when we were out on location doing the bid along a creek out west of Lake Afton.
102.
102, there was a great supply of beer, and I was acting as the grip. I was carrying beer to those who needed, including the photographer, the cameraman, and
Mr. Edison, Fred
Edison
Edison.
was shot. And then I remember after consuming quite a bit of it myself, that I finally got to my place, and I had the, well, they'll find out.
Yeah,
I
they'll know.
had chocolate syrup in my mouth. That on top of beer.
Chocolate beer is
Didn't
very
go.
good. Very good. I want to tell you the most memorable thing to my way of thinking was I remember, I think the greatest moment was we got Dr. Welsbacher in a suit and a tie in the thing. Actually, you'll see Dick's casual, like all of us, and I wish you'd get a shot of his moccasins. You got them on today, too.
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
you?
I got to watch
That's
it.
great. But anyway, now, let me ask you, Richard, which was your most memorable moment?
Well, Webb mentioned chocolate syrup. I suppose the most memorable moment was the one where I was stuffed upside down in a closet for about 45 minutes or so while they got the shot with chocolate syrup all over my shirt and arm. And there was about 112 in there, too, I think. And another thing I remember, though, got to be kind of a local gag, was I would always say, it's spring now officially because Tom Leahy just called and said, let's make a horror movie.
Yeah, that did happen right off. I should have said a horrible movie.
A horrible movie.
All right, Henry. What about you now?
I think the most memorable moment was when 3 hours later he found out he was in the closet. No, I think my most memorable moment was when I found out I had been misinformed and I should have memorized my lines.
Guess who made cheat sheets?
Yeah, in a hurry.
Yeah. Oh, well, we had a great time doing it, and I hope you enjoy it. It's Dick Welsbacher shudders every time he sees the film. But anyway, I think you'll like it. And I want to thank you guys for being here with me this evening.
Listen,
Oh,
we
it's been a lot of
haven't
fun, huh?
had a chance to thank you
For what?
for the fun that everybody
Well,
had.
we did have a good time.
It
I
was a lot of fun. It actually was. I wouldn't want to do it again, but it was a lot of fun.
Probably the
It
most
really was.
unrecognized creative mind ever hit the city of Wichita and this business is Tom Leahy.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I agree.
Tremendously
Shucks.
talented fellow.
Shucks.
Fantastic talented fellow.
Tom,
What?
I really wouldn't mind doing it again.
You interrupted me.
See, I did that without the cheat sheets.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And I tell you, now I got to do a little metamorphosis right now, if you don't mind. So I'm going to metamorph right before your very eyes.